and welcome. My name is David Pfeiffer, and with my partner Alan Rodriguez, we're going to talk about ethics in this video blog. So, for the first question, I want to address the issue of genetic manipulation. So, the first question I'm going to talk about is what are the limits of genetic manipulation? To answer this question, I'm going to try to be very objective because I don't like genetic manipulation. In my opinion, nature is perfect the way it does. If you observe our planet, everything just fits. The only thing that does not fit is us. So yeah, I think genetical manipulation is not the way to achieve perfection and stuff. I think we have passed the limit. I think that's a book we should close because it's a great responsibility. Like, for example, CRISPR. It's amazing how we have gained like that control over things like a virus does, like cut certain areas of the genome in order to like curate diseases and that stuff. It's amazing, but also it's very scary. And from the ethical point of view, that type of technologies can make harm too, because it's a knife and we're playing with fire, and I think it's not wise to continue that road, because if we do, there's bad people that are going to get control of that and start manipulating things like the nature, our dogs, us, everything, and we will continue to break the natural cycle that we have been destroying from the industrial revolution and from the agricultural revolution. So in my opinion, it's not wise. Instead of running from nature, we should listen to it. And genetic manipulation, it's a way of running from it and telling nature that we are better in some way and that we are better creators, but it's just a selfish method in order to improve the conditions for us, and we can't continue with that conduct. My previous answer leads to this question. So this question states that it has been discussed that with this type of technologies you could design your son. And as I said before, I do not agree with these statements, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to be as objective as I can. So, well, I don't know what's the good thing about this, because it's breaking nature, it's playing with fire again, and it's wrong. It's just wrong. It's like buying your son in order to be as you want it to be. But that's the beauty of nature. It does have control, but it's not in our hands to control it. And I think we have forgotten that. And I think this is giving us the tools to control everything. And I don't think that would be a good thing. That just be like unnatural and unethical. So I'm in favor because it could prevent some diseases, like all or conditions, like for example, I'm guessing the HIV from birth. You could change that I think. But in the downsides, it's horrible because we don't have any precedent of this. We have never seen this, only in the movies. And this, as we have seen throughout the years, every innovation comes with other problems. So imagine the problems of genetic manipulation. Imagine creating humans. I think it would be terrible. I don't know what the consequence might be, but if we continue, we will see the consequences. We will live them, and I don't think we're gonna like them.
And well, going to a third question about ethics, what would be the criteria that you will give to affirm that a life no longer deserves to live more, and how does the criteria of human dignity intervene? And well, before answering these questions, I really struggled trying to think to answer to this, because these questions for me are somehow a bit deep and hard to answer. But ethically speaking about life and death, I do believe that humanity does not have the job of choosing and thinking whether a person should live more than others. And that also depends on which path we choose as persons, because actually we cannot decide whether to live more or less. That depends on our destiny, on our beliefs. And on the other hand, well, this planet, there are many different types of persons that lead a life better than others or better than others, and that also depends on how can we what path we choose, through a good path or a bad path that will lead us to a better life or a worse life. That's actually insane, because we all depend on ethics, on logical thinking, on distinguishing what's good or bad. And it's not about just trying to exist just because I want to exist. No, I think that each one of us should think about whether we deserve to live more or not. And it's important to think that we live in a world full of bad and good people, and bad decisions or good decisions, and it's important to distinguish which path is better than the other. Because if we're gonna die, we will be living this world with good knowledge, good ideas, good life, with a happy way of living. Because in my opinion, living this world without having a footprint in the world, it's not a way of living. Because we're not here for just to exist. We are here to change things and to grow as a person, because we're not here just to live and die. And now, answering question number 4 and talking about ethics, now of bioethics, I can say that bioethics is the subject of ethics within the common area of biology, and so on. So moral relativity is where things collide, saying that to change genetic it is bad, but for bioethics it is really not that bad. And I think that here we are entering a moral relativity where ethics collide and where the lines are not very clear. So then should there be an ethical minimum? And well, personally I think that the most ethical thing would be more there to be more rules, even if they restrict innovation, because at the end it is what avoid catastrophes and will avoid them the most.